So, what are you going to do on this intro, Bri? This isn't a regular tangent podcast.
It's not a regular. I'm trying to think of it through my head right now.
Are you
Are
going to freak out?
No, I don't think so.
Don't fuck it up.
All right, welcome everybody to the Tangent Reacts. We just watched EA's press conference for E3 2017, and I have to say it's kind of whack.
Whack is the very good term.
Whack is very much the term for that. For those of you that don't know, I'm Brian Thomas. We have Justin Kane over here and Gary Hines. We got God Mike back there. God Mike, you going to be speaking this episode? Or no?
I think so.
All right, perfect. So
you get no cool nicknames.
No cool nicknames this week. We're a little bit.
Nobody has any cool nicknames, anyways.
Yeah, I mean he's the lovable co-host. You're the bootless wonder.
I like that.
So let's get into it. So EA did their press conference on Saturday, June 10th. June 10th. Yep.
Right.
So we just got done with it, and it started out with a bunch of people wearing Tom Brady's jerseys, drumming. You're like, cool. So what's happening here?
It's gonna thumbs up for me right away.
Yeah. So great on the GOAT jerseys, but then they just started talking about Madden and FIFA and sports
and how pretty they always are.
We get it. Their sports games, they sell great every year.
They always look good.
Justin is a huge fan of NBA, the 2K series.
2K, yeah.
But
not
still,
so much NBA Live.
Not so much NBA Live, yeah, which was there as well. Apparently, you can go from street to D to the court in the NBA league.
Yep.
So that was like a huge driving. Yeah, it's like the street cred brings over to your fucking crowd cred.
And if you're like hood rich, you could be in the NBA.
I mean,
that's what it seemed like they were going for. It looked pretty stupid. They haven't released an NBA game in a long time.
No,
and this is going to be their.
No,
they've had ones in the past. It's just you don't feel like they've been released because they've just been overshadowed by 2K.
I highly doubt they're going to be able to compete.
I agree completely.
At least they're doing something different than 2K. I mean, it's the only credit that I would give them. But
they're not necessarily doing anything different.
I mean, they're doing the street to the D to the league.
They already have like a street.
Take the D to the street. And
they already have a street league in 2K.
But yeah, I don't really have much to say. I'm glad that they're there for people who do enjoy those types of games.
They look good.
They look great.
They didn't show NHL though.
They didn't show NHL.
Pretty pissed about that.
Well, are you an NHL guy or a 2K?
I'm an NHL.
Okay, so you like NHL
2K doesn't
17?
There's no
2K.
I don't
not in a long time.
NHL 2K 17.
I've always gotten the NHLs. I usually do like buy 1 year, wait a year, get the next one.
Is it time to buy?
It's time to buy. It's time to buy. And I saw some things on Twitter on the new NHL, but I figured they were going to show something, so I didn't watch it. They didn't show it, so I'll actually now have to go back to Twitter to watch that.
Gotcha. After that, they kind of showed off Battlefield 1 DLC, which was it free? Did they say?
I don't think this is free.
Okay, but what they did announce that they're going to the Eastern Front of World War I, which is Russia. So they showed off 5 new snowy maps and the Russian faction, I guess.
Yep. And then there's some sort of DLC, couple night maps. It looked like going there.
It was called Neville Nightmares or something like that, or Neville Nights.
I'm not going to lie.
I
wasn't paying attention during the Battlefield one.
Not interested.
What? How?
Yeah. I know, surprising.
I was just laser focused the entire time.
Sounds it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, actually. I don't know how I retained all of that because I felt like I was on my phone the most.
Pretty good stuff. But they actually then afterwards they showed off Need for Speed, which is called
Fast and Furious Need for Speed. Yeah,
we'll just call it that.
Yeah, might as well. Saw a bald guy running around.
Yeah, Din Diesel. Anyway, so they had it. They showed it off and. It's kind of got this Fast and Furious vibe where it's like, we're going to pull off this heist. Let's go jack a truck. And so they're driving down the freeway.
Use a fast car to go steal a faster car.
Yeah, exactly. And then the enemy cars come in and you kind of have this combat, kind of like Burnout. And then it slows down time just like Burnout does when you finally take out a car and the car starts flipping uncontrollably for some reason.
And me and Justin mentioned it earlier. When I see the car-to-car combat, now I just look at Mad Max, which the game itself was average. I mean, once you got out of the car, it was
subpar.
But the
car-to-car
combat
was
top notch. So I compare like when you see that.
Unless you give me a harpoon gun so I can rip your tires off, like I'm not really that interested.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, dead
It
serious.
makes perfect sense
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, Gary's on my.
Yeah, but it was just strange when you're watching that and like they're like, oh, these armored cars are coming, and then he like nudges them,
nudge,
and then
explosion.
it's like flipping,
Yeah.
explosions. Like it was just weird.
I
Like,
agree.
hey, drift into him a little bit. I'm like, okay, he exploded. Like, good thing they spent all this money on these huge trucks
Yeah.
to get nudged twice by a Honda.
Yeah. So I mean, it looked like you said, it looks like Fast and Furious.
And I
game.
think they're cashing in on that, which is fine because
I
I'm
mean,
sure there's
Fast
a.
and Furious movies make billions of dollars,
Yeah,
which is
so-
ridiculous.
I'm sure this will sell decently well because the last couple Fast and Furious have been.
People
just-
are always into that.
Well, yeah, but like there's better racing games. So you have like the Forza Horizon kind of, or Forza games and Forza Horizon, and then you
Mario
also
Kart.
have lighter, hardy things like Mario Kart, but also hardcore things like Gran Turismo. So this kind of falls in that weird like, hey, we're not edgy anymore. It's not like early 2000s where people care about being like edgy, and now they just kind of lost their thing.
Yeah,
So
like, everyone's
hopefully,
born with edge nowadays.
yeah. So hopefully this gets them back on track. I mean,
Who knows?
yeah, I was
Doesn't
never a
look like it.
huge Need for Speed fan, but
Yeah, and I think they went from there to NBA Live, but we've already kind of mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to the game that I think we're all the most interested in, which is A Way Out.
yep.
Cooperative,
Yeah,
split screen only, which would be interesting.
So
made by the same people that made Brothers,
A Tale of Two Sons.
Which was
Yep.
a good game.
I never played it.
I
you should
enjoyed it.
you
Yeah.
should definitely check that out. You probably find it on Steam for like $2 at this point.
Probably.
So what this game is that it is a full-fledged co-op experience. It's not like you're dropping in and out, kind of like Scott Pilgrim or Castle Crashers or anything like that. They're really focusing on couch co-op, but you can also play online. And it seems like no matter where you're playing, either online or couch co-op, you're getting a split screen. So you're always able to see what your teammate is doing.
See, I don't know if that's how I
That could distract the
viewed
shit
it.
out of me.
I think they were just showing us that to show the different perspectives of each
I don't
of the
think
two
so.
characters. I think so.
So
It looked too.
the thing
much like
about it is
set
that
up
I
way.
agree with you that it would be better for them to show the split screen to show off what the game looks like for both perspectives. However, they really focused on saying like it is a split screen co-op game exclusively. Like they were really driving that point home. So I don't know if it's going to be split screen. My thought is I think it's dumb. I would rather just the single screen than having the split screen, but I understand why they would do it.
Because then I would like replayability. You could go back and play from the other points of view. But if you've already seen his point of view as you're playing it,
It doesn't.
why are you going to replay it again?
Yeah, the only thing
What
that
if
I
I
can
keep
think
staring
of,
at the other person's screen and I'm not paying attention to my screen because I'm an idiot?
well, that's
that'll happen.
Boom,
A
because you're
bunch.
an idiot.
My thought was if
Supposed to have my back.
there are different scenarios to what can happen, if it's kind of random, then it'd be interesting to have the split screen and to play with randos online.
Yeah. Well, that is a possibility. So you're in prison and you're trying to find a way out of prison, the two of you. And so at one point there's a scenario where everyone's in the laundry room and you have to kind of figure out how to get out of the laundry room, how to distract people so you can like throw something into the washing machine and go like, hey guard, this is broken over here. Or you can go up and smack somebody in the back of the head and then point to another dude and be like, hey, that guy hit you, not me, and then go tell the guard, hey, those guys are fighting, to make a distraction. So it is kind of cool to see that there are different options that you can do. So there will be some replayability, but I agree, it would make much more sense for me to play as Leo, the one guy, and then Tony, the next.
Tony Schnoz.
No, Leo's the one with the schnoz.
Leo the schnoz?
Leo looks like Nathan Drake with a huge nose. That's all I can.
He looks like Wild Luigi.
a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got some sweet pork chop sideburns though.
I don't know. He's
So-
weird looking.
And I'm wondering too with the game is like how much takes place in prison, like how long is the game, like how much
Yeah,
is going to
that's-
take place in prison versus because they showed outside of prison, they showed you
Like being on the run,
Yeah.
hiding. Yep. A lot of that looked cool though because there was a lot of like, all right, I'm the driver, you're in the back of this pickup truck, and you're
different
shooting.
views. So that way, if you weren't playing split screen, you'd have no idea like what your
What's
character.
behind you? You need to communicate
Yeah.
that. There is also another big thing that they focused on was the story elements of each character. So it wasn't just like like you're the red version of this blue guy. You know what I mean? It is. This is Tony. This is Leo. Like you guys both have your own stories, your own reasons for breaking out of prison, and they showed a little bit off of it. One has a family, another, I think somebody killed one of his friends. He has to get out and seek revenge. So it is interesting to see the story behind the two of them, and I hope that the story is more fleshed out than just your normal co-op game. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is very story focused, so that's good. What else?
You just be able to break out of prison. You just need to get the nurse to fall in love with you, give you the key, and then you're good to go.
You're good, yeah.
Is this Luke Cage?
No, this is what regular prison is like.
Yeah, you just get the nurse to fall in love with you, and then you break out of prison.
I'm really missing the
that's
reference.
just.
No.
Have
you guys
break-
never watched Prison Break? Huh?
No,
never
that-
mind.
no.
Oh, there was a reference there?
Sorry,
Because that happens in real life quite frequently.
Never mind.
Apparently there was
escaping part.
If you watch Prison Break on the CW, then you know what
You're
Gary was
in on
talking
that.
about.
It
You
was
just
actually
had a
Fox. I was
laugh.
about to say.
It's on Fox.
Fox,
Yeah.
CW, they're right here.
They have different names, Brian.
Come on.
Anyways, I thought that the game was probably the best that they showed off.
It was the only good thing that they showed off, and I thought it looked all right. Because you're not sure yet. We're still, if
I think it
That is
looked good.
that's the only thing I have expectations
Right,
for.
yeah.
Everything else, I'm just like, yep. Next. Speaking of next, what else did they have? The only Battlefront 2 was
Battlefront 2, where they spent 30 minutes. At the beginning, they said we're going to spend 30 minutes on Battlefront. By Garnet, they did.
Gosh darn it! They also brought out Shiva from the league.
Yeah, and she talked for
way too long.
Yeah.
way too
It was a little bit of like
a villain's monologue when he should have killed the good guy like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, she was just like she plays the bad guy in the story mode, so like I get it. She's the head of the fire squad or the Inferno squad, whatever it is. So she's the head of that. So she's like, I'm a badass, but then it's like, this is really forced and awkward.
Yeah,
like,
you're
how about you
still
just
at
kind of
E3.
yeah, like we understand what you're doing here, but this is fucking dumb. It's so forced. Don't
Yeah,
do
just
that shit.
cosplay and then be your regular good-looking self.
Well, they instead of
Right?
Like,
well,
or
instead of-
just speak to people as people. Don't be in character.
Well, the thing is like she spoke a lot about what they are doing with the game instead of showing the actual game. So instead of showing
show
story,
any
mode,
That
story
whole
mode.
E3
No story
AEA
mode.
conference was talking about the game rather than just showing
Showing
us what you have.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what was frustrating about it to watch. It was just like, I don't give a fuck about these like comedy skits you're trying to do in between the games.
Oh
Just-
yeah, there was an god awful football fucking soccer thing going on between two idiots in blazers. I don't know what the hell was happening.
But yeah, no, back to like Battlefront like
Sorry.
itself.
This is the
And
tangent.
yeah, that was a nice little tangent.
Good work.
Battlefront, to me, I mean, I think it looks great. I think the multiplayer, I mean, it is what it is. It sounds like this is going to be an actual game compared to Battlefront, the original, or
The
2014.
I
or
would play
15.
the shit out of the story or the whatever mode they make for the campaign.
So they do
I'd
have
play
a
the shit out of it.
full-fledged campaign
They
that's
didn't show
written...
any of it.
Yeah.
No, they didn't show
And it
any of
sucks.
it, but they have shown it off prior. So
And
there's
you
like,
never know. They could show it at Microsoft
or
or
Sony.
Sony
So we'll see in the
press conference.
press conferences, which you could probably watch those on youtube.com/pixelated points. We're doing post shows for all the press conferences.
Yes,
Right?
yes, we are. Yep,
Right?
As
And then
far as I know.
we
Fingers-
also forgot about
BioWare's new game. Yeah.
BioWare.
We were
They-
going to wrap it up with that one.
Yeah.
And I think it looks like Titanfall meets Destiny.
They didn't really see anything, so
I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure what
what
to think.
I don't
about
know
it.
what I was seeing.
I don't know either.
I saw like, hey, this kind of looks like Halo World.
It's our armor.
Well, first off, it kind of looked like Halo. I didn't say first-person shooter or anything
no,
like that.
yeah, but
It's like alien, foreign planet.
desert, like wastelandy, wastelandy feel, like shit was popping off on the
Yeah, I
outside.
didn't-
I meant
I
to
didn't
say
s-
wasteland. I made not desert,
Deserted.
but wasteland. Deserted. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know what to think of it.
It's called
Me neither.
Anthem.
It's like 2 seconds.
Anthem. There's going to be more at the Microsoft press conference. We'll probably unwrap it there for when we do our post show for that,
story
which
doesn't end here.
should be up shortly after this one.
just the
So I
beginning.
think that's really going to be it, unless anyone has anything else that they want to kind of briefly
Way
touch
Out,
on.
That's it.
A Way Out. That's really
That's
what
all you need to just
that's
watch the
the-
videos on
yeah.
that one. That's it.
Yeah, we'll probably have them playing in the background. But yeah, I thought it was a terrible show. If I had
Yeah.
to grade it, you definitely get a D plus only
Yeah.
because of
A
A
D
Way Out.
plus.
A D
Yeah.
plus.
D.
You get that
Straight D.
You get a
Straight D.
definitely
You
a
get the
red
street
light. You definitely get a red light.
You get the street D.
You get a soft red, and that's going to be it for our E3 EA press conference for 2017 post show. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Brian Thomas. You can find me on Twitter at @It'sMeBT. Justin Kane.
Katata _fish_.
Gary.
Hines25.
And God
At
Mike.
Steven _Sal.
Follow us on Twitter at PXLPTS.